Welcome everyone. My name is Eric Blanton. I work for MSA. I'm excited to share this video with you today, and I really want to turn it over to some of the best part of MSA, and that's our people. These are the folks that are going to tell you and walk you through what we do and why we do it.
So we use SAP as our ERP system, and though SAP is very robust and dynamic, it's very clunky and cumbersome to get that full streamlined picture and visibility into shortages and also the inventory that we have on hand. So something that Lean DNA has really helped us from a purchasing standpoint is to have that very much needed visibility that we can then share throughout the cross-functional stakeholders that also need line of sight. We've been able to improve drastically our shortage management as a result. From an inventory standpoint, we can also see very clearly what inventory actions we can take to optimize the inventory that we have on hand, balancing what we need to produce, but minimizing the excess inventory that we don't want to carry as a continued investment.
Leadership was very engaged in the project with implementing Lean DNA. No matter what type of project, you needed to have a lot of buy-in and engagement from leadership. So from my perspective, just with this particular project, we received a ton of engagement from my immediate manager, his manager, and then her manager. So there were multiple levels that pulled everybody in the same direction, a tremendous amount of buy-in, and the results right now are speaking for themselves.
I think the biggest problem that we solved was the communication between the purchasers and the planning at the plant. With us using the same interface, Lean DNA, we were able to communicate our needs a lot better, and we're able to communicate back to them more accurately and more timely when they're going to be able to plan the production jobs that they need to do.
So I would say that the waste that was removed was the excessive emails and also the number of reports you'd have to pull from SAP. So on the first front, the emails, so Lean DNA has functionality within the system to comment and create tasks and talk all in one centralized location. So anyone that has Lean DNA access can go in there and see the updates on that. And that kind of creates a lot of the email traffic because that's a one-stop shop for answering and commenting.
Within Lean DNA, you're able to take notes, you're able to forward things to other departments, and you're really able to get a lot of work done in a short period of time. And there's no repetition.
So the single biggest impact on my daily work as a buyer with using Lean DNA is prioritization. So when we had Lean DNA implemented, prioritization, like being able to go into the dashboards, the different widgets that we're able to use within the dashboards made getting the hardest work done first, making sure that I'm following up on the right work, and being able to follow up with all stakeholders at the right amount of time.
One of the biggest impacts that we've seen with the Lean DNA implementation, I think, is an increase in efficiency and organization. For instance, with forecasting, it used to be a really manual process, and now it's readily available. You can filter by a supplier or even a specific line in your production field and be able to find their forecast really quickly. So it's a time saver as well as organization with delivery dates and communication skills.
After the implementation, the clarity to the forecast and the demand was a lot more clear due to the fact that Lean DNA gave us a really good interactive website to use to be able to see what changes were happening, what the biggest material critical shortages were, and also gave us some past historical measurement data that we weren't able to see where these spikes in demand were occurring and why we were having our shortages.
Lean DNA allows us to filter by work cells, so we know how to specifically support certain lines for production goals, and it also helps us see into the future for any type of shortages, and it helps you give a little bit more time to react and bring in material on time.
The biggest change as a result of this project is having more defined planning and purchasing teams. By bringing more dedicated resources to both sides, we're not only increasing visibility, but also bringing out the best skills of our associates. This project was impactful to MSA because it brought a renewed focus to supply chain. By having teams that are more dedicated to roles of planning and purchasing, we increase our visibility and also decrease our risk, again, to those long-term supply chain shortages.
So sourcing and procurement have never been more instrumental in the success of an organization as they are today. Our sourcing and purchasing teams bring so much value in terms of getting parts in the door in time for us to produce our parts and in turn ship them out to our customers. So we have to stay up to speed on so many different situations with our supply base to make sure we have good visibility on the parts coming in to avoid any stockouts or shortages. And then at the same time, we have to manage our inventory and control costs. So we're at this triangle of trying to balance everything for the organization. So we play a very valuable and instrumental role here at MSA.